Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video today. So today they released the Forestry Part 2 community consultation. So I thought I would just go over it and see what we all think about it. So they're talking about timelines and content. If we go down here, now we have gotten the timeline. So for the leaf effects, teas, campfires, and bonfires, new events, new rewards, current content changes, and poll questions. Okay, so starting it off here with leaf effect. So based on your feedback, we're going to go ahead with an invisible gathering and production boost from using leaves in campfires and teas. To clarify what this means by invisible, let's compare it with spicy stews. These too hot to handle stews give you a temporary bonus to your level. If you're lucky enough to get a +5 boost on a skill of your choice, you'll be able to create objects 5 whole levels above your own for a brief period, which is pretty straightforward buff. Unlike using spicy stews, however, the invisible buffs from the leaves will give you a higher success rate in gathering and production activities. So whether you're cutting a tree, trying to light a fire, picking someone else's pocket, or using nails to create the same piece of furniture over and over, you'll be more likely to succeed in those actions. At the moment, the very highest buff you'll receive from these leaves will give you a 12% increase in your success rate in the appropriate skill. Very nice. Based on the change, we also decided to remove the power option shown in the previous blogs, and we won't be adding any more leaves. Each of the current leaves will provide its own level of gathering, production, and duration that you will be able to use when creating campfires and teas. So the gathering boosts from gathering success chance, production boosts production success chance, and duration increases duration of the boost. Okay, so let's try and see what this means. So each plus on the table below for gathering/production represents 1 point, with 4 points totaling a 1% success chance, whereas the plus from the duration would equal 50 ticks, up to 50 ticks, which is 30 seconds. So normal leaves have a 1+ in gathering, 1+ in production, and 2+ in duration. And then it goes down the list, obviously, magic being 3+ gathering, 1+ production, and 1+ for duration. Okay, so if you don't have any remaining points left over in gathering/production when brewing or setting them alight, you'll have a chance to round buff up, which is dependent on the amount of leaves not added to a solid buff. So should we introduce the invisible boost to current leaves? This will be used in campfires and tea to boost success chance for certain actions. In gathering and production, of course, why not? Okay, so the next one here is campfire and tea. So it's not just leaves that will give benefits. Brewing perfect crafted teas and hanging out at forestry camps will also provide handy buffs. Lighting a fire with any type of log and then adding a leaf or another log to the roaming flames will transform it into a special forestry campfire. The smoke will indicate it's changed. The better the log, the longer the duration of the fire. So you'll have two options, tend to and rest. Tend to will allow you to interact with the campfire, letting you add leaves to create a flame that all players except irons can benefit from. Irons can benefit from any leaves they add to the fire themselves, and group Ironman members get the benefits from leaves they've added by any member of their group. Makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad they're not making it buffed for Ironman accounts. So the more you add to the campfire, the better the benefits will be. To actually gain these benefits, select the rest option, which will also give you a chance to relax after all that hard chopping. Sit down and pull out a nice cup of tea to drink next to the campfire, and after a little while, you'll receive the benefits, as long as you stay within a 15-tile radius. Then you can get straight back to the tree chopping action. As an additional bonus, we're giving you a nice AFK method of fire making alongside those lovely buffs. For 1 out of 4 of the normal experience, you'll be able to burn an additional log 1 at a time, up to 10 in one click to the campfire. This new method won't supersede any current fire making training methods. Lighting normal fires or visiting the Winter Todd will be far superior in terms of experience, but we thought this would be a handy little extra. Okay, so they're not making it like the regular bonfires in RuneScape 3, thank God. So these campfires will deplete over time. So in order to keep the benefits going, you'll need to keep the fire fueled and ready with the logs and leaves. That's really cool and interesting. You can use the logs and leaves rather than banking them. I like that. So should we introduce the forestry campfires? Lighting a fire and adding leaves will give a temporary bonus to all players. Yes, of course. And if question 2 passes, should we allow you to add logs to the forestry campfire for 1 out of 4 normal fire making experience? Yes. I'm just thinking of RuneScape 3 and how crazy their bonfires are, so I'm really glad they're doing only 1/4 of the experience. So anyways, what if you don't want to share? If you prefer the solo lifestyle, you might opt to create your own brew with similar benefits from the campfire. These new teas can be created by adding some leaves to a teacup of water as long as you're standing next to the campfire. Okay, so an interface similar to the campfire will appear, and you'll be able to create the brews that is made by you for you. The amount of leaves you can add to any one tea is based on your combined herb lore and woodcutting level, with the maximum amount of leaves for any one tea set at 15. Okay, so this is the combined level, I'm assuming, and then you can add a certain amount of leaves. So obviously the higher level, like 99 and 99, I guess, in each, you can create up to 15 leaves in the tea, and the max chance increase will go up over time. So teas aren't tradable via the Grand Exchange, but they can be traded between players, which means if you want to create your own little tea shop, you can set up one and sell your brews to those in need. That's interesting. I don't know why they wouldn't add that to the Grand Exchange, but anyways, we've also added the option to destroy cups once you're finished with them, as long as you've completed the bar crawl mini quest. Okay, that's cool. And enabled the automatic vial smashing. This will also apply to teacups, and don't worry about acquiring teacups, as stealing and drinking copious amounts of brew won't be necessary. You'll be able to make 4 teacups with a simple piece of soft clay, much like other pieces of pottery. Okay, interesting. Remember, you can only have one set effect active at once, so if you choose to drink a cup of tea with a different boost, it will override. That's good. So anyways, should we introduce the tea brewing? Of course, of course. Okay, so events. So alongside part 2, we'll be adding some brand new events, each with their own rewards. You'll want to try them all. There's one free-to-play event which won't require an item, and 4 new members events, plus a rework of the leprechaun, so the leprechaun. In part 1 of the rework, players liked the utility of the leprechaun event, but they didn't like how other events couldn't spawn while this one was active. So we've had 2 options: make other events spawn around it, or rework the event to give you something else worthy of your effort. So we thought there was plenty of more potential in option 2, so here is the plan. So you'll still be able to use banking features of the event. That won't change, however. We're adding a new rainbow that will spawn periodically around the leprechaun. Running into these rainbows will grant a buff that will not only give you some additional experience, but will also give you the chance of getting anima-infused bark from simply cutting the trees. The more rainbows that you interact with, the longer the buff will last, so make sure to include the multicolor madness. Is this like a pride event thing, Jagex? So the friendly Ent. Okay, so this is the only free-to-play event in our roster and does not require an item. It will have the chance to occur whenever you chop trees. 6 antlings will spawn around you complaining about the state of their hair. Your job is to give them a trim that meets their requirements, I guess. It will be a classic trim, or could one of them pull off a always groovy mullet? What? You'll have 3 options to cut their hair back, sides, and top. Each combination of these will result in a different do for the baby trees. Make the cut by clicking on any of the ends and interacting with the interface, or simply by right-clicking the tiny end and choosing the cutting action you want. Okay. That's very interesting. You'll get some experience and anima-infused bark for every ent satisfied with their trim. Oh, so they have to be satisfied. And you'll gain an experience drop and quantity of anima-infused bark at the end based on the time in the event. Much like the struggling sapling, you'll also get a random amount of leaves and a chance for egg nests. Okay, next we have Pheasant Control. In our initial round of feedback, the violent aspect of some of the events didn't sit right with you. We totally agree, and we've tweaked a couple of the events for a more chill and peaceful forestry vibe. Of course, woodcutting is supposed to be, chill, AFK. You'll need a pheasant spoon, egg cradle, new, plus a limestone brick to spawn this event when chopping trees. Nests will spawn around the trees with all but one containing a pheasant protecting their eggs. Your job is to locate the unprotected nest and remove the eggs, then take them back to the freaky forester who has also cropped up pheasants. Will switch nests periodically to guard their own eggs, so you'll need to keep on top of which nest you're interacting with. So you'll only be able to carry one egg at a time via your pheasant spoon. It will try to take an egg from a guarded nest or are next to a nest when a pheasant flies in. You'll be stunned briefly. So it's like thieving, I guess. You'll be a little bit stunned. You'll gain an experience drop and anima-infused bark for each egg handed over at the end of the event. You'll have a chance to earn pheasant feathers, which can be traded at the Varrock fancy clothes store for a grand pheasant outfit, or like a bee box parts. Or like the bee box parts, you can trade these in for a load of infused bark. Lots of this bark. This outfit does look pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's going to have bonuses or anything, but we also heard your comments about getting the pheasant and fox pet. While we were thinking 3 pets from 1 skill is probably too much, we'd like to give some more options for your beaver, so some more transmog options for the beaver. On completing the event, you'll have a chance to get the golden pheasant eggs, which can be used on the beaver to change the wood-loving critter into a freaky pheasant. That is actually really cool. Okay, next there is poachers. So speaking of transmogs, you'll be able to get the fox whistle from this event, which unlocks the ability of the transmog beaver pet into a cute little fox. I like that. To get that chance, you'll need to create a trap disarming kit, blueprint, new, bronze wire, and an iron bar, which can spawn this event once a tree is chopped. That fox looks pretty awesome. Next is the enhanced ritual. So our final event calls for you to aid a Drand in completing a ritual that will keep the forests of Gielinor safe and the trees consistently respawning. You'll need to create a petal garland, crystal charm, new, flowers plus a ball of wool to spawn this event. Okay, once the tree's chopped. A number of rituals spots of all different colors and shapes will spawn around the tree you've chopped. Stand on the ritual spot. Okay, cool. And I guess this guy will pop up. You'll have a completion bar that will need to be filled to complete this event. You'll receive a big drop of experience and anima-infused bark based on your contribution to the ritual, or once the ritual is completed. After this event, you'll have a chance to receive a wearable version of the petal, okay, which once again you can keep or sell for a good amount of bark. Remember, you'll need to have an item on you to get the best rewards. Okay, I really think that's pretty cool. Okay, so now actually is the rewards section. So we've got 2-handed axes. Now this is probably what everyone is actually curious about, is these 2-handed axes. So these 2-handed beasts act as an upgrade to the following axes. So bronze, iron, steel, black, mithril, adamant, rune, dragon, crystal, and 3rd age. Wow, they even got one for 3rd age. You'll need the same woodcutting level to use them. You can make the 2-handed by purchasing the exclusive axe handle from the forest shop and combining the handle to your current axe. This process is irreversible. Both the axe handle and the 2-handed axes will be tradable on the Grand Exchange. So the 2-handed axe will chop at the same speed as your regular one, but allow you to gain extra experience in exchange for getting fewer logs. That's awesome. This benefit uses your run energy at the cost of 40 points per successful chop, and you'll receive 20% more experience for each successful hit of the tree with a 20% chance to not gain a log. Interesting how they're doing that. Normally you'd get 2 proper swings in it. Is it worth it? Well, that's where our old friend, the Forester's rotation, comes in. These treats will guarantee you restore 20 points of energy per swing when using the 2-handed axe. Means if you got a bunch of rations, I read that wrong, rations in your forestry kit, here's what you will get. Okay, so chop, different chops, if it's active, energy per chop, energy post chop. It's a lot to take in, but I'm sure it'll be better. You will continue to chop between 4 and 5 until your inventory is full. You have no more rations, or you stop chopping to restore your run energy. So are you going to have to take like stamina potions, energy potions, and other while various other energy restore effects will work, we want to highlight that the reduced energy drain effect from stamina potions will not work. Interesting. Okay. Kind of interesting. I didn't think that's exactly how two-handed axes would work, but sounds cool. Okay, so the Sawmill Voucher. This handy dandy little ticket is stackable, tradable, and sellable at the Grand Exchange, and will help you out massively when creating those trusty planks. Take them along for your next sawmill visit, and each voucher will give you 2 planks for every log used. More planks for fewer resources. That's really cool for Ironman accounts. Vouchers will only be consumed if you have the space for the planks, so there's no chance of accidentally spending loads of vouchers and leaving tons of planks on the floor. Good there. That's cool. I'm not sure exactly how you'll get these vouchers. I guess they'll be part of the reward. But anyways, Twitcher's gloves. These were previously called Arborist gloves, and we made some slight changes. For those that don't know, the Twitcher is a team of bird watchers since pre-streaming times. You'll be able to purchase these bird nerd hand warmers fully changed from the shop and buy charges from the friendly Forester too. But what do they do? Well, you can choose to receive an increased chance by 10% to receive one of the types of bird's nests. Okay, ring nest, egg nest, sea nest, clue nest. So I'm assuming most people will probably either do clue nests or the egg nests, which is good because we need a better way to get that evil chicken outfit. Okay, so while we're here, we thought we'd address some other feedback points of the woodcutting expansion. First off, we hear you 99 woodcutters out there wanted to get an effect of the woodcutting cape and wear your forestry kit at the same time. We're adding an item to the shop that will let you retrieve all the benefits of the woodcutting cape without needing to aid one in your kit. This will be one-time unlock for 99k and apply to you anytime you have the forestry kit. This can only be purchased if you have 99 woodcutting. Cool. And secondly, we know the log basket can be a little frustrating to use, so we're going to make it work more like the plank sack. Third, we've heard your concerns from Ultimate Ironman in taking away the option to easily retrieve your forestry items. We're going to allow the forestry kit to be stored in the player-owned house, meaning everyone can keep all of their collected and created materials from forestry, whether you have a bank or not. Well, that update actually does sound pretty good for the game. I love when they do extra updates like adding skill expansions and stuff like that, just to make the game a little bit more spicy, a little more activities to do rather than your traditional way of training. Always welcome into the game. Some of the best updates, I think, are updates like this. But anyways, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of all of these changes to forestry. And the two-handed axes was a little bit confusing, but I mean, I'm sure they'll make it work. And I think it's an update that we've needed for a very long time. Very happy what Jagex is doing. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.